podcast from the Ed Block Courage Awards. It's the first time ever we are doing this. Dave Steinwell, former athletic trainer with the Baltimore Ravens, Blaine Brooks, former defensive lineman. We're going to ignore the fact he's got all those Kansas City Chief rings on right now. Dwayne Clemens. And we figured who better than the first person to have on a live podcast with us than Minnesota Vikings Ed Block Courage Award recipient with the tight end, TJ Hockenson.
Appreciate you guys. Yeah. No,
so congrats.
Yeah, appreciate it.
What does it mean to you to be an Ed Block Courage Award recipient?
It means a lot. Yeah. I mean, it's obviously a great foundation. It's awesome what you guys do here. It's great to be here in Baltimore with these people, all these athletes that have gone through something, and it really obviously means a lot to me. With coming back from an ACL injury and having all these people, my wife, physical therapist with the Vikings, Maddie, Tyler, Mara, who's here, just having all these people on my side and being able to get me back and to the player I was and better than I was even. So it's awesome to be here. It's awesome to be a part of this and to see what you guys are doing.
So you tore your ACL.
Yep.
Okay, and you mentioned physical therapy, your wife. You mentioned physical therapist with the Minnesota Vikings. You mentioned a lot of people. Tell us a little bit about your journey as far as your rehab, working with the athletic training staff in Minnesota, and tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, it's a long journey, obviously. A lot of people only see when you come back, but there's a lot of things that happen behind the curtain. There's a lot of dark days that you don't speak about, when you come back. So it's cool to be here and be a part of this. You can help guys in those situations and kind of understand where they were at. But for me, I had a really good surgeon in Dr. Elitrosh, who was out in LA, and then to be able to have the Minnesota Vikings with me, with my head PT, which is Maddie, and then Tyler, those guys, and then to have them, really be a side with me the entire step of the way. They would come down to Nashville, where I live, in the off season and check on me and make sure we had all these plans, and they really set it out. So it was super easy for me to hit these blocks and these goals throughout the 9 months. And that was huge for me. When you get done with surgery, it's kind of, I always said it was you're like a sports car that got sit in the garage for a while. You go from being the best at what you do and being one of the best in the world, and then go and you get hurt, and you kind of get sidelined for a while, and that's obviously tough on the mental. So I think that was a huge part of that rehab too, is the mental side of it, and really understanding this is just temporary, and you've got to do what you can to get out of it and become the best player you can after.
I know personally how important it is to have a great tight end, and you're trying to win championships as an organization. And as a former Viking, I was so happy when you signed with my first team before I was the Vikings. What is the plan next year going into the season? And, obviously you got some great pieces in place, but you also got some stiff competition in your conference. And what do you see the offense doing to get to the next level and finally finish this thing?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, we've got a lot of pieces. We've got JJ, we've got JA, myself. We got JJ McCarthy, Sam Darnold. We got so many options at that position. We've got a great O-line, but we've got pieces all over the place. And I think this year, Coach O'Connell has done a great job. The last couple of years that I've been there, and just putting those pieces together. And you see it throughout the regular season. We're winning games. And we're doing what we need to do in order to win these games. But, it comes down, and what we found out over the last couple of years, just comes down to, winning the most important ones, and that's really what we need to set ourselves up to do. And that's what, our coaching staff and our ownership and our GM and all these guys are trying to put these pieces together. And they've done an incredible job building the locker room. Everybody loves football. Everybody loves each other. And so it's a really fantastic environment to be a part of. And, I think, you know, next year just going into it is being able to win those big games. You know, we can get to the playoffs and that's incredible, but let's win those big games, and that's really what the next step of the Minnesota Vikings is.
I wanted to ask you because you were one of those rare interdivision trades at the trade deadline. Were you a little shocked that the Lions traded you in the division to the Vikings?
Yeah, I was a little surprised. You know, obviously I had no idea what was going on. We had some talks with the Lions, you know, and so it caught me off guard a little bit. I was going to Minnesota, but obviously it was a blessing. I've loved the organization. I've loved the city, loved the fans. I mean, it's one of the best places to play. You know, at US Bank and with Coach O'Connell and with all those all those pieces that we have with JJ, you know, it's a lot of fun. So it was a blessing that that ended up happening. There were some other teams involved, and you know, it's very close to home for me. So I'm from Iowa. It's only 4 hours away. So my whole family comes up every game, and you know, it really is a hometown feel for me. My dad grew up a Minnesota Vikings fan, so his room color was purple. So it was.
So he was happy.
He was happy
than me, huh?
Yeah, I think he started crying on the phone when he found out, and you know, he gave me a call. So it's a very hometown feel for me. Love being a part of the Minnesota Vikings, and you know, the traditions that they have there is second to none. So it was a true blessing.
Now, have they taken you out on one of those lakes to do ice fishing? Because when I was a player, that was like they were always inviting me. I'm like, I don't want to sit in the bathroom with another man and look at a hole for 8 hours. I don't hate my life that much.
Right.
Right?
Well, they've made it a little easier now, right? You can bring these RVs out on the ice now, so you can watch TV and sit in the living room while you're ice fishing.
You really trust that? I mean, every year somebody fell through that ice, and that was my whole thing. The risk versus reward just wasn't there for me.
Yeah, 100%.
Cool. I don't want to die like that. Every year somebody did.
Yeah, no, you hear it all the time, but no, I'm not going out there unless I see somebody else do that, right? I'm not going to be the first guy to go out there, but it is a pretty cool experience. You never know.
TJ, we really appreciate you taking some time with us. Congratulations, and cannot wait for tonight, afterwards, and tomorrow to hang out.
Beautiful. I appreciate you guys having me.
All right.
Congratulations.
Yeah, appreciate you.